We are starting things off by heading down to Les Schwab to get some new tires mounted on the ATV rims, since only 1 out of the 4 survived. And I'm getting pretty excited because once we have that and our new spindle part that's also coming in the mail, we will have a roller. So that's the main goal of this episode. We'll worry about the engine and the chain setup later in the next episode. But I thought we'd just take you along down the road and get her done. So, out with the old, in with the new.
Righty, go on inside, should be waiting for you.
Cool. Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, welcome back to the garage, everyone. We've made it back safely. Whoop. Stay. We made it back safely with the tires. They're holding there pretty great. And we'll be mounting them here shortly. I want to wait until I get another part I'm waiting on before we get these on there. We could technically get 3 out of the 4 mounted just fine, but the reason is because I'm waiting for parts. As I mentioned in the initial part, there are 2 separate parts here for the spindle. There's the spindle shaft and the spindle itself. They are seized together and I had to get a replacement. I got part of the replacement in. That's just for mock-up purposes. This is from VMC Chinese Parts. Thank you very much for helping me out with that. I accidentally ordered the wrong spindle that goes into here. So I'm working on sending that back, and later this weekend I'm going to be getting the spindle that connects into here, and I'll actually have a right spindle if I want to replace that, but there's not really a need to, honestly. But if it's the correct one, it will slide right into here. Let me zoom in on that real quick. I'll slide in along the shaft here, and then we can rotate and get ourselves a rolling chassis here. Also, if you're wondering what that buzz is in the background, it's my 3D printer. I don't even know if I've even showed this on camera yet or not, but when I graduated college, I bought myself a Ender 3 Pro and done some upgrades to it. I've got a Bowden tube, I got a spring steel bed, and some stiffer springs and aluminum knobs. Right now it's printing a cover for the 2-in-1 brake handle and throttle. I only had one of these covers, and I want to use the old ATV part here because this is the new one, of course. I want to actually try to adapt it on the drift track, so we'll save this for later, but I thought I'd give you the quick little sneak peek. It's the following day, and my parts came in early, so this is pretty exciting. Also, again, if you hear any whirring in the background, I'm doing a redesign on the plate that I showed you yesterday, so I apologize for that in advance. But our new spindle is in, and this is the one I was looking for. It's just painted in a different color, which threw me off on the website, but I'll put links down in the description for which one I used. I think now that I've discovered it, I think it's an ATA 110B. Either way, we got the right parts. It's now steering as it should, which is great. I might have to adjust the toe a little bit because I moved these tie rods in and out just a little bit, just trying to get it to fit. So I'll do that off camera so I'm not boring you guys. But yeah, here is the plan for today. Of course, we got our tires all mounted. None of them seem to be leaking any air, which is pretty good. They look really great, and we are just going to mount them on the chassis here and get this thing as a roller. Then we'll unbox some more parts, or we'll unbox a little something you might have saw earlier, and just go from there. We're going to save all the engine work and getting the chain and stuff mounted for later in the next episode. I'll go ahead and explain what that is later at the end too, but I'd say let's go ahead and get started. And if you're wondering why I'm not sitting on that and this is instead, it's just for the ease of maneuverability. Work smarter, not harder. A little bit of play, so I might have to replace this nut and bolt set here. I'm not sure what happened, but I don't remember it being so hard to loosen. I don't want to refund it, but I ripped out all the cotter pins on purpose just so I can install new cotter pins, just to be on the safe side. I don't trust reusing old cotter pins. Okay, cotter pin there, cotter pin here. There will be a cotter pin on this wheel. I'll have to test that and see how that goes. This is all a learning curve for me, and if there's any ATV experts out there that want to correct me, please feel free to do so in the comments. Now we can get this on here. Slide that on there. A little bit of brake revvage, but that's great. That's so nice to have back. Something like that. All right, now I'll go ahead and install the other side and then we'll get the tires on here. Here she goes. There's the holes. Aw, yeah. Now it looks like they're towed in just a little bit, so we'll have to probably adjust that toe and make it right. Alright, I say we get this thing off the ground. You do not know how long I've been waiting for this moment. Alright, now the fun part is, how am I going to get this off the floor? I have an idea. Let the weight come back. Ooh. Ah, there we go. Ooh. Yeah, that toe is not right, but we will fix. I will do some research and get that fixed. If I'm correct, this tire right here needs to go out, or that needs to toe out a little bit. This tire I haven't really, that tire I haven't really messed with this one. Oh well, we'll just hold the brake, have a seat. Oh. So we're gonna be sitting something like this. Back end's a little soft. That back end is pretty soft. Ooh, my feet. In the way of those tires. They thankfully don't hit the fenders. We got ourselves a roller. And the brakes, I'm holding them down just a little bit. They're pretty nice. Yeah, I'll bet you these brakes are going to be working pretty good. I'm probably going to be sitting more like this. Oop. Yeah, except my feet are really close to that tire. I might need to make some kind of guard or something, or I've been pretty tight in this kid's ATV, that's for sure. Oh man, oh man, oh man. And let me actually quickly clarify, why am I not choosing to actually extend this frame, which would be a great idea. The best answer I can give you, honestly, is just the fact I want to see how far I can go without having to make any frame modifications before if I have to make frame modifications, if that makes some kind of sense. But if I were to do it, I can see that I can just, looks like I can just cut here, and then cut here, stand it out with a slightly bigger tube, and then do some rose welds or plug welds, and then take it from there. Just so I can get that little safety from hitting the tires here, and can stretch it out back that way just a bit, and go from there. So now let's go ahead and talk about this this little piece I have down here. I 3D printed this sprocket adapter as a test, just to see how things would kind of line up with the engine that you'll see in the next episode. I'm going to plan on getting this water jetted, cut out of steel, and it's going to look the design's going to look a little bit different than this. But this is just so we can have the 4-bolt pattern on this hub, and then use a standard 5 1/4 pattern for a sprocket that I had as a spare. You might remember this one. This came from the drift track, so I thought we recycled. I think it should be plenty of gearing, obviously plenty of clearance, and the final drive ratio is pretty small. I think, if I remember correctly, the top speed was maybe about, oh, I don't know, maybe 30, 35 miles an hour on this ungoverned engine, which, speaking of which, how about we unbox that and take a look at that too? That's right, I decided to get another Predator engine for the meantime, just so we're not bamboozling another good, clean and running project. So we are going to be testing the waters with a Predator Hemi engine this time, just to see what maybe it's performance comparisons, just to see between the two. And I'm pretty excited. Now, if you don't know the difference between a Hemi and a non-Hemi engine, the best way to tell is if you look at the valve cover. The Hemi is a cast iron, whereas the non-Hemi is a zinc plated. But I haven't unboxed this yet. I've kept it to the side. So why don't we go ahead and do that real quick? Oh man, oh jeez. This must be pretty entertaining for you guys. If so, you are welcome. Or if so, I should say, smash that like button. Okay. Almost there. Oh, there it is. We have our instruction manual, which really needs that. There it is. Oh man, this brings back days for sure. Already out of the box, first impressions compared to the non-Hemi beside me. Looks just a little bit different. And of course, it might be a newer model. Yeah, but that's a lot to take in. Of course, it's just your standard 212, but it's a Hemi. So this brings back a little bit of memories when we first got our Predator engine for the drift trike. As I probably mentioned in the last part, as far as performance mods are going, we had a stage 1 air filter carburetor kit. I'm going to be adapting the muffler on here and then relocating this gas tank. Electric start, people have been asking for a Hemi version of the electric start kit. We'll think about that because there's some different parts you need to order differently compared to the non-Hemi. But I just want to start with the basics, the bare bones, and just go from there. We're going to leave this dry with like no fuel, no oil, just for mocking up purposes in there, because I mean trying to fit that in there, good luck. Bonus doggy of where it's gonna, oh, interesting. Okay, so that's where it sits as far as like where things are gonna be. We obviously have to take off the gas tank, exhaust, and the air box. But after that, I can see this snugging right into place. But obviously, we are going to be saving that for a later episode. Hello, Odie. Because there's still some things I need to figure out as far as getting a part cut out on my works water jet, and obviously getting this towed, or getting this rolling set up nice and towed and what have you. So I think that's where a good place to call this episode, guys. Off camera, I will work on getting this front alignment fixed here so we can have a better ride later, and hopefully we will see this thing running. Other than that, here comes a dog to come say, subscribe to Nighthawk, give it a thumbs up, and comment what you think so far. Right, Odie? He's got a little blue sweater on just so he can stay nice and warm in the winter. Ain't that right, Bubba? Oh yeah. Anyway, guys, well, we'll see you later. Hopefully you enjoyed this dog. There's a little outro. Bye, guys.